for mentioning that there was a reward involving reviving all the trees. But now I gotta make my way all the way back. Oh. Sun fragment. I actually want more of those, to be fair. Sun fragments are actually good, because they're basically heart containers. What other legends have you found so far?
I'm kind of just reading through the stuff regarding Amaterasu, and it's interesting because one of the pictures here is somewhat reminding me of a little like comic that I read on not Webtoon.
Huh.
That is the app is based on a lot of mythology related things because it's like a whole separate world called the Abyss. It's related to all this magical stuff, and it's interesting because there's three like heavenly artifacts in there, and those just happen to be or similar, I think, to what the things here, the Imperial Regalia of Japan, which is in here it shows a shield, a sword, and like a little. I don't even know what that is. In there, it's supposed to be, or in the little thing that I read, it's like the heavenly mirror, some kind of bell, which is I think with the little thing that I see on here is I think that's supposed to be bell, and the shield is kind of like the mirror, and the last one is the sword of Dan, based on some mythology, and I mean that kind of lines up. I just thought that was interesting. I'm not seeing anything connecting Amaterasu to um the like foxes or anything like that though.
Well, all I know is whenever we kill the multi-headed serpent, his power disappears to create multiple different creatures which we fight as bosses later on. One of them being a nine-tail, literally called Nine Tails.
Because going down it says that here um Sasunu was driven out by someone by the other because in one legend like I think it was Sasunu or someone made Amaterasu like like did something to, make them steal themselves away and cause like a bunch of darkness or something. General summary and very shitty summary, so don't criticize me.
Well, them
uh,
sealing themselves away, uh, with the
and then cause
battle.
darkness,
Well, with the battle
and
portrayed
then
here, it's like 100 years prior to when you play the game. He and the current like Amaterasu fought alongside a mortal, and they managed to defeat the multi-headed serpent, sealed him away. But in the process, Amaterasu died and was like essentially sealed in stone almost. And then
well,
100
yeah,
years
that's
later,
based on a
darkness popped
legend
up
where
and
they
they woke
sealed
up.
themselves away because this other god like did something to kill one of their servants or something. I don't really know, but they plunged heaven and earth into total darkness because Amaterasu sealed herself away into the, as it said here, heavenly rock cave door. I don't know. Or something like that, and the other gods had to like kind of like urge her out, kind of, and then this other god, Sasune, was driven out by the other gods and had to go down to Earth. And he was the one that killed Yamata no Orochi, the serpent that we were talking about.
Hmm.
They're like you rescue a goddess called Kinshuten. I don't know how to say that name.
It's alright. I don't mind if you'd left for a moment.
From the serpent's carcass, Sasune found a sword.
Because I hit to them last second. Oh,
Sort of,
there's more.
sort of gathering clouds in heaven, is also known as the grass cutting sword. I know that's what it is. It's the English pronunciation. Which he presented to Amaterasu as a reconciliatory gift.
I hope you're having fun at least. I just had a thought. And I just want to, since you're up in about 15 minutes, isn't Amaterasu's final, like, true form, isn't that a multi-tailed form, or is that just, like, fur attachments? It's always hard to see with the amount that they have. I'm trying to remember if it's, like, multiple tails? Besides the, like, original, or just... if it's just, like, strange fur attachments.
Oh, ooh, interesting. Here's something I just found. Wait, where do I find that?
Alright,
This
well,
story.
good luck with your singing. Glad you could at least pop in to join.
Another tradition of the Heavenly Cave story depicts Amaterasu as a dragon fox during her descent from the famous cave because it's a type of animal slash kami that emits light from its entire body.
Hmm.
I wonder if that has something to do with it.
Maybe.
Yeah, Amaterasu is the Japanese sun goddess, daughter to the creator deities Izanagi and Izanami. Yeah, typically Amaterasu is depicted as as the same in your game, like a fox, um, or like fox wolf type creature.
Huh. Interesting.
I mean, I think it's supposed to be a wolf, but I feel like it gets mixed. Maybe it gets mixed up with the fox because foxes are depicted, or hot, like powerful beings or creatures in Japanese lore.
Yeah. That's in the
That
final, like the true form. This isn't even Amaterasu's like actual like full power form. This is like their weaker form because of the injuries they sustained with the original battle.
Or maybe it's just, it could also be with the nine-tailed Amaratu's form. Hold on. Because they also have similar markings too. Like here's one here, Age of the Gods battle with the nine-tailed fox. Wait, hold on. Pretty sure this is just a fan art of this game actually. Hold on. Yeah.
picture I'm gonna send you is actually the best way to depict the full form versus not. Because the full form has like these little wispy parts that like are just all over the place and they look like, I don't know, it kinda, because the full form has all those like wispy looking things. And like a lot more markings too.
Clover.
Let's see, I'm looking at some of the lore based on Okami right now, actually, and the fight with the Ninetail is actually based on a legend of a nine-tailed fox that was like deceiving this king, and supposedly, um, the only reason the emperor was saved is because of Amaterasu and Isun. Or like
Interesting.
the she was making the emperor sick in a plot to steal his throne. This is much like the mysterious green mist plaguing Shun City killed the emperor if it was not for Amaterasu and Isun. Luckily, even though she made an escape, she was captured and put to death. I know that the supposed sword that um it looks like the Nine Tails uses is like in here the Nine Strike Glaive. That's one I've seen in the comic that I was reading on Webtoon.
Hmm.
It seems interesting that both in your game, the Ninetales seems to be just like depicted as a basically being able to do everything Amaterasu can do with a little bit of extra. That's what it sounds like here. Like
Yeah, because
that.
the Ninetales is known in the community for being a little pain in the butt because it tries to actually slash out your brush abilities when you're trying to use them if you're not fast enough.
Let's see. It says here that Okay, well, reading from the top. Ninetales is an evil kitsune who is the fifth boss you will meet in the game. She is the ruler of Oni Island, which can be found off the Rashima coast, thus making her the boss of this game segment. She's also referred to as the Dark Lord and the Demon Lord Ninetales. Ninetales is a character that reveals the existence of Yami and Yami, a being of ultimate evil.
Which I learned Yami is a
Ninetales.
freaking black-colored koi fish. I did not realize the damn thing was a koi fish until
Ninetales is very like Amaterasu in the fact that she too can use brush techniques, which is an added difficulty when fighting her, as she can even use techniques Amaterasu has not learned yet. Ninetales can also harness the power of electricity as she fights with the Nine Strike Glaive, and And Oni Island is a rifle with lightning. Her glaive has a celestial brush on the bottom of the hilt.
Oh, the brush on the bottom of the hilt, I didn't actually realize that's where the ability was connected. Then again, you're usually trying to not die half the time with these bosses, so I don't get to notice the tiny details like that.
Down in the trivia section, Ninetales is kitchen. No, that part doesn't. We see a brief cutscene that shows the fate of the original Rayo. In this cutscene, it can be seen that the original Rayo wore a string of blue beads and not red. Not red, and she did not cover one of her eyes with her fringe. Which the Ninetales does to cover its missing eye. The subtlety shows us that Rayomi and Easton meet in, I don't really, that doesn't even
They
sound
died,
right.
basically.
I don't know. Evil Rayo can be fought again, but at a higher quantity in the optional Devil Gate trivial caves in Kamui. Ninetales Celestial Brush is written. According to the legend, the amount of tails and Ninetales is symbolic to their wisdom of omniscience. When they obtain their ninth tail, they are said to reach a state of godliness. This explains why Ninetales takes on the vestige of a god, including the ability to use a celestial brush. Her own constellation, use of the 9 strike, which is very similar to Amaratsu's divine instrument 7 strike. Celestial markings and how the battle arena resembles the heavenly plane where Amaterasu meets the brush gods. The art book also states that Ninetales considers herself to be a real god. Although the bestiary entry for Ninetales states that her tails are particularly weak to fire, in her true form, Ninetales are invulnerable. Ninetales is the only character apart from the brush gods with its own constellation. Before Ninetales is released from her constellation, the moon has a pattern of 9 tails. A stone version of her sword can be seen conducting electricity in the Moon Tribe ruins in Okami. Perhaps the sword was modeled after her own, or she thieved one from the Moon Tribe. That seems interesting, that she has something to do with the Moon Tribe when literally just before she was released from her constellation, the Moon, specifically the Moon, has a pattern of her 9 tails, and then somehow she has a weapon similar to that of the Moon Tribe.
Yeah, so the thing about the Moon Tribe with this game, it's like the Moon Tribe supposedly built one of the ships that the Celestials could have to like escape. So what I'm assuming is either some deity or someone in the Moon Tribe itself are the reason that the Celestial Plane exists. That's what I'm guessing. And the Celestials,
You
like,
said
because
to
of this.
escape. Sounds like Ninetales has something to do with this too, though.
Well, yeah, the thing is, the multi-headed, like, dragon serpent came down from the stars and attacked the celestial plane. And brought with it lots of, like, enemies. The ship that was from the Moon Tribe apparently was a cargo ship for monsters. So when all the remaining Celestials fled onto the ship, they barely left a few minutes before the cargo hold blew open, and they basically all perished as the ship plummeted down to the mortal plane. In turn, releasing all monsters and bosses. But in the meantime, during all the chaos as they were starting to board, Amaterasu was fighting the multi-headed dragon serpent, and they both plummeted to the ground below, essentially the mortal plane, in the process of all that happening.
So the snake is down on the mortal realm too?
Yes, the multi-headed like dragon serpent, the 8-headed one. They are currently on the mortal plane because we basically we fought them and then we both fell. Amaterasu and the 8-headed serpent both fell during their fight. So they fell to the mortal plane. That's how Amaterasu's even down in the mortal plane to begin with. Oh, here's a picture of the constellation for Ninetales, if you want to see it.
The what? Oh. Interesting. I find it also interesting that apparently the battlefield that you fight the Ninetales on is related to the celestial plane. Or like, as it was, at least in the thing that I was just reading.
Yeah.
Where is it again?
That's
Yeah.
like the styling
So
of the battlefield.
the use of the Nine Strike is very similar to the Amaratu's Divine Instrument, the Seven Strike. Seems like they're almost the same there. Celestial celestial markings and how the battle arena resembles the heavenly plane where Amaterasu meets the brush gods. Seems interesting there too. Seems almost like she's supposed to be a celestial being or something. Oh,
My guess is maybe it was a. The thing is, her original form, when you get rid of all of her tails, essentially, because her tails split off into multiple different parts. But when you get all the tails off, though, it just becomes like a normal fox. My guess is maybe it was a fox that wanted to become one, and the 8-headed serpent, made a deal? Because they had access to, either the Moon Tribe or the Celestial Plane or something? I don't know. That or they were originally a kitsune with just one tail and were were promised it, but never achieved it.
maybe, I mean, they consider themselves to be a god. Maybe they're just not accepted as a god.
I could see them having, tried their hardest, but never having succeeded because maybe they just weren't spiritually there. Like, they're mentally, physically, emotionally, they had gotten through all the hurdles but because they weren't spiritually there, maybe they just never were, seen as one and in turn were never allowed to be one. Because I could imagine that would make them pretty bitter. Especially to Amaterasu, I guess. And that would also account for them knowing so much, knowing different brush techniques, because maybe they had to go through trials and tribulations to learn and master different techniques. To even become one.
Interesting.
think the one thing I'm the most curious about what legends are tied to it are these damn clockwork owl looking things. Because I don't understand where in the world clockwork owls of all things would fit into all this. Like, one of them's a golden color, the other's a silver color.
Interesting.
One has, like, an actual, like, clock, per se, whereas the silver one has what seems to be, like, a lottery thing, essentially, for, like, their stomach piece. A little moon symbol. They each have a cane. But their canes are different. They also mirror each other. To some degree. I know they're a pair of demons, I forget their name. Hold on. Should say it here. I'm gonna butcher them, but it's like Nikshu and Lekchu? However in the world you pronounce it. Yeah, I think out of everyone, I've been the most curious for years, actually, trying to, like, wondering where in the world they're connected. Because, like, out of all the creatures, all the others are either different types of animals, like spiders, or other things that actually look like I could guess what type of legend they'd probably be connected to some degree. These two, I would have no idea.
The owls?
Yeah. Because their whole thing is like clockwork based. They are literally
Time.
mechanical demon owls. Also, their whole
Do they
thing is
have a
like being on the
name?
top of Twin Peak Mountains and freezing icy tundras. And
Do they have names?
they do. I just don't know how to pronounce them.
Lichu and Leku and Nuchu. Okay, well, let's click on this.
Yeah.
The twin demons are guardians of the Waku Shrine. They resemble owls that have clocks embedded in their bodies, which seem to give them power over time itself. Lechu's golden appears to have the body of an analog clock, and Nechu's silver has the body of a digital clock. Amaterasu battles Nachu on its own with the help of Shinari, who must battle both Lechu and Nechu with the help of Oki. Uh, we
Yeah,
see that they
Oki
can
is
control time,
is
which
a character
from
that's like half
cutscenes
wolf,
and
half
battling
man.
with them, Lechu can speed up time to nearly undodgeable for a nearly undodgeable stun attack, and Nechu can stop time completely, but this can be countered using the with the use of a brush technique.
Yeah, my thought
Rolled in
process
the
is just
plot long
where in the
ago, the twin
world
demons
did they
were
come
merely owl
from?
statues that were found on top of as Fuji. However, one day they came to life and attacked the Oniya tribe. However, the legendary Oniya battled them and cast them back to statue state again, went back to standing outside the Valkyrie Shrine. However, the Call of Yami broke them back to life and they attempted to wipe out the Oniya. They did this by trying to slaughter them and create a machine that would freeze them out. Kumi on the day of darkness, Kumi tried to turn them all back into statues, but they were too strong and nearly killed him, causing Shimiko and Oki to have to rescue him. Kumi became too weak to perform volcanic incantations, so she passed knowledge on to Lika. However, Lika and Nichu appeared to her in a dream and lured her through the spirit gate, so she could be a true Ochi sacrifice. Without Lika there, it would uh, wouldn't be nobody to perform the volcanic incantation, therefore Okami would freeze over and fail to replenish. Based on the 2 hours, based on the I can't pronounce this game a lot. 10-hour demons from the Anui lore. They symbolize how time passes, that everything must come to an end. According to legend, they kidnap Amaterasu and an Anui warrior Oki and Okami rescues her from the clutches. Interesting. So that's why they're all based around clocks and different, because they literally are based on owls that symbolize time. And what better way to explain it than them being fucking clocks? Nenji and Nuku are the only bosses you cannot fight again on the arc of Yamato. This is probably due to the fact that Oki plays a substantial role in the fight, and developing a replacement for the arc of Yamato would have taken too long. When traveling to Kami, especially near I can't pronounce his name, God.
Oh,
Call of the
right,
Owls
I
can be heard.
realized
This
the
is
owl
found.
fight isn't on the arc.
This could be on the calls of it in the distance, however, even after the destruction of the hooting remains.
I didn't even process the fact, like, I've played this game a few different times. I never processed the fact that the damn owls don't pop up after that one fight. I never processed the fact that they never pop up on the arc, because the arc is basically the equivalent of a boss rush. I never processed the fact that the owls don't appear on there. It's everything else but the owls. And I never realized it was the fact that you need a second person to defeat them.
Yeah. Yeah, Oki plays a substantial role in the fight and developing a replacement for the arc. So basically, it's because Oki helped you that you could even beat them.
Yeah, because the thing is,
And they can't get a replacement on the
stun
arc
them, you
to help
basically
you.
fling them onto like the owl's face, which distracts them long enough for you to hit them and then knock them to the ground. So it's like knocking them out of the sky.
And they didn't add the arc because developing another character to add the arc would have taken too long. Is the general summary that I'm getting from
I mean, they could have just done a transparent version of our partner and not had him talk. That probably would have made it a lot more sensible, in my opinion, because if you think about it,
or just not include the owls.
Yeah. I still loved the owl fight though, so it still would have been like cool at least.
Why is Akuru in all red? Is this like a pearl? Wait, Akuro, there's currently no text on this page. You can search for this page on other pages and search related logs. You do not have permission to create. Bro, who's Akuro?
Wait, say that again?
Akuro, Akuro. It says it's one of the bosses, but it doesn't have any information. DLC character? King Fury. Oh wait, I thought that was a furry for a second.
Hold on. I accidentally went back to that. Let's see. I mean, there
Is it like
might
a DLC?
be something in the art.
And Kuro doesn't have any, there's no text for the page, there's no nothing for them. Dark Chibiratsu, what? the final boss. Okay, and he's an evil form of Chiburutsu and in the physical incarnation of Akiro. That's interesting because the Akira page does not exist. He fights with Kuni, who Akira has possessed. He is very similar in appearance to Chiburutsu, apart from the fact he has black fur and celestial markings are red and white. He's fought in the Dark Realm.
Yeah, there's nothing even in the concept art that I'm finding. Like I just
The,
combed through the concept
wait,
art for
so
that name.
who's Dark Chiburutsu?
Wait, Shibarisu?
Yeah, there's
That's
something that
that's
says
from Okami Den. That's not Okami. That's the second game.
okay with basically I think
Chibarisu is
okay well that's
Amaterasu's grandkid.
interesting. So Akaro is the reason why there's no R's. According to this, they don't um hold on. Dark Chiburitsu, the final boss in Okimaiden. He's an evil form of Chiburitsu and the physical incarnation of Akaru. He
Mm.
fights Kuni, whom Akaru has possessed. He is very similar in appearance to Chiburitsu, apart from the fact he has black fur and his celestial markings are red and white.
Hmm.
So what, is he like the opposite
I guess
version
it's
of
like, if you think about it, like a Dark Link situation.
I guess?
Because Dark Link has been prominent in a lot of games. It's basically just an alternate form of Link with like silver skin and a black tunic, red eyes as well to mirror the blue eyes Link has. So I guess it's like a Dark Link situation.
So, oh, I'm guessing True Orochi is the final boss of Okami then?
Yami is the true final boss of
Yami.
this critter. It's basically the frickin' wall master looking critter. This creature's got so many damn phases. But basically, it's a damn koi fish. It's a black colored koi fish. I never even knew it was a
Yami
koi
is the
fish until I
Emperor
got
of
told
Eternal
it.
Darkness and the final boss of Okami. Is called the source of all evil in the darkness, so it's only natural for him to be the main enemy of the sun god Amaterasu. They have been fighting battle for hundreds of years, and it's up to Amaterasu to defeat him once and for all. Yami has 5 different forms, his last one being his true form. However, all his
Which is the
forms keep
damn
the
wall
appearance of a
master looking thing.
spherical machine, with its last form being the same bar the giant hand emerges from it. Amaterasu must battle with all these forms to try and defeat him, however it's not easy. His outside is impervious to damage, so Amaterasu must try and explode his core before she can attack him. Lots of Yami's attack involve machinery, hinting that you may have some connection with the Moon Tribe, as they too had advanced technology. However, his strongest attack is called Sunset. This is when he removes Amaterasu's ability to use her brush techniques by stripping the world of sunlight. She then must spend the whole of her battle with him trying to regain them one by one. Damn, that sounds annoying.
Yeah, regaining all the brush abilities is
Yami
very,
came to the
very
mortal
annoying.
world upon the Ark of Yamato. He attacked and killed the Celestials, and Waka was trying to save them from Orochi's attack on the Celestial Plane. After Amaterasu re-kills the Spider Queen, Crimson Helm, Ninetails, the Orochi, and Blight, she will be transported to the bowels of the Ark where
Yeah,
Yami is.
that's what I meant by the arc boss rush. You basically
When
just
she
have to
get
fight all the bosses
when she
besides the
gets to
owls
where
again.
Yaka is fruitlessly attacking Yami's hard outer shell with a sword, However, Yami sword pillow talk. That's his sword. Pillow.
Yeah, I
Ouch.
find the fact that the sword is named Pillow Talk is hilarious. I didn't
Well, no
believe it at
wonder it's
first
so.
until I looked it up.
However, Yami awakens when Amaterasu appears as the day of darkness is finally upon them, and of, he drains her of all her power, removing her ability to use brush techniques and her weapons. He then tries to shoot a potentially dangerous laser at her, however, Waka jumps in the way and blocks the beam with a sword. Waka tells Amy about how Yami slaughtered all the Celestials as he tried to
Oh,
fly them to safety
Ami,
in
it's
the Ark.
pronounced Ami because it's just Amaterasu's nickname.
Ami,
It's said throughout the entire game, Ami.
However, Waka also says that it's his fault because he didn't know that Yami was on the Ark and has haunted him this very day, with
Yeah, because
which
he
the
was the
reason he
one that
must fight
brought
to
the
destroy
Ark.
Yami. Waka manages to hold off the beam, but Yami fires another one that hits Waka at full force, sending him flying over the edge of the arena to what seems like his death. After Ami goes into battle with Yami after fighting 4 of his different forms consecutively, he thinks she is beating him. However, Yami reverses true form and steals all of Ami's powers again by using Sunset. Then he goes to kill her, something which he would have succeeded in if it wasn't for Isun. At the very moment, Isun calls up to heaven, telling Ami, or Furball as he calls
Yeah,
it,
Isun
that he would
has a
never
bunch of different nicknames.
leave her fight alone. By drawing pictures of her and telling stories of her exploits, Isun has riled up all the support of the people. The opponent are all praying to her as they now believe that she is truly a god. Because of all this, Amaterasu's powers are fully restored as she returns to the same level of power she had while she was in Sharanui. I don't know. Ami is then able to fight Yami in his
The other
final form,
name
however,
that
he
is
can
essentially her
still
original
use Sunset,
form.
turning day into night, and temporarily drains her all of her powers.
Yeah, so the other name that's like her original form, that was before she perished the first time with the 8-headed serpent. Essentially the level she had when she was in the celestial plane.
Bestiary entry, first form. This is a horrifying entity that has been called Empty Death. It seeks complete destruction for eons, has been locked in a struggle with the Sun God. This fight has been described thusly. Yami's destruction was countered by the Sun God's rejuvenation. Second form, round, cold, and desolate as the moon. Yami has never been depicted as a human or an animal but in any drawing. It's simply too ignorant in its appearances to warrant such portrayals. Yami took on a ring form when I can't read, or maybe this is just right. Yami took on a ring form when attacked, rendering blows useless. The beast was bathed in moonlight, the light acting as a blade.
Yeah, so if
Third
you
floor.
call the moon in that fight, Nagi slices the thing in half. I learned that as an Easter egg. I never knew that was a thing, but it makes that fight so much easier.
Third form. In most legends, gods are portrayed as good or evil and representations of specific animals. This is not the case of the dread Yami. Yami belched fire and ice, but the god deflected the onslaught. The beast attacked violently with the speed of unpredictability. Only by slowing the flow of time could the sun god defend itself. Damn.
Yeah, so I almost never used the time ability. I just relied on jumping around the arena and on my reflexes.
Fourth form is ignorant. Its ignorant nature resembles machinery, leading one gadget gadgetry. I can't say the word gadgetry. Expert to speculated that it's likely the source of all machines. When the god attacked with thunder, the machine coughed forth a seed. When the beast drew it back in, the god knew it must be the core. The beast tried to seal away its core with an icy blast. True form, in all these tales there's no record or decisive victor. He has no one emerged victorious, or was the event simply not recorded? As the darkness tries to cover all, forget not the warmth of purifying light. Prayer is power, power is prayer.
Yeah, so its final form is literally a wall master. The friggin' thing acts like a wall
Oh,
master
here's
with its
something
movements.
interesting. Okami, as Yami is dead, he naturally does not reappear. However, near the end of the game, we find out that the main antagonist of Okami, Akaru, is one of the 5 vessels for Yami's power after his defeat. Yami appears as the final boss in the game, Akano vs. Capricorn. First, fourth, and true forms must be fought. The background music is also the sun rises. The song appears in Okami. Using Veil of Mist will cause Queen Himiko to appear and grant you solar orbs.
Yeah,
Huh?
solar orbs are basically like hearts to collect, like to heal yourself.
Using Crescent will make the giant Nagi appear and slash Yami in half. Using Blizzard on the crystal ball will make Oki appear and cause damage to Yami. I don't see any relation to a fucking koi fish.
It said there's this little tiny. It's not the thing. It's what's in the capsule that keeps falling out when you fight Yami. There's this little capsule. It's especially seen whenever you're attacking. With some of the phases, it'll fall out. It'll like fall out of the hand or the ball itself. And it's a koi fish. It's the little koi fish in a capsule. So it's like it controls the machine from that little capsule. But it's a little tiny koi fish in a little like container inside the machine. Here, I'll show you. I've sent you a picture. Because this actually does show, like, in-game footage. Or at least some in-game pictures of, like, what's in that little capsule. Because you see this little capsule pop up throughout the entire fight. And that's the main thing you hit throughout the entire fight, is, like, that little thing. You hit that little capsule the entire time you're fighting. And it's like a little koi fish.
Yeah, Orochi the Orochi is based on a mythical dragon, Yamato no Orochi from Japanese folklore. The legend goes that Orochi was killed by Sasuno as he had fallen in love with the someone, I don't know, who was set to be sacrificed to the Orochi. After he had slain the Orochi, it is said that Sasuna pulled the legendary sword, something costume or whatever, from the tail and presented it to Amaterasu as an apology. Orochi appears in Okimaden. He has all his meals prepared by two chefs, Aji and Umumi. As he is the only creature to eat their meals, nobody is sure what the effect the food has.
Much as I know you're
Hero-
enjoying delving into it, I think I'm gonna end the stream here because I got what I needed. In all fairness, talking about the lore and figuring out all the mythology stuff was actually really fun. Hope everyone enjoyed listening to a lot of mythology talk, as I was not quite expecting that to be a thing for this stream, but I mean, if you love mythology, sit around and listen. I will see you in the next stream.